in the exact moment you just blinked. About 2,000 chicks were just born on Earth, and in that very same moment, thousands of others were sent down the processing line. Every single day, human civilization consumes an insane, almost unfathomable number, over 130 million chickens and billions of eggs. Try to close your eyes and imagine. A colossal mountain of meat, feathers, and eggshells built up to the sky, only to completely vanish into human stomachs within 24 hours. How can we possibly sustain such a massive, endless, and absurdly huge supply? If you're still picturing romantic, sun-drenched countryside farms, where mother hens cluck and lead their yellow chicks to peck for worms in the dirt, I'm sorry, but that romance has been dead for a long time. To feed over 8 billion mouths on this planet, nature alone is simply not enough. The real answer lies right here, inside these cold, sterile megafactories of concrete and steel, blazing with fluorescent lights and operating with precision down to the thousandth of a millimeter. This is where artificial intelligence algorithms, industrial robotic arms, and miles of endless conveyor belts have taken over the power of life and death from God, where the life of an individual is meticulously calculated by temperature, humidity, and the speed of spinning gears. Today, let us step into the core of this magnificent and ruthless biological machine, to witness firsthand how technology has manipulated the laws of survival, to see how a fragile egg survives a gauntlet of lethal tests before becoming the purest source of protein on your dining table. Before these giant steel machines were born, the fate of the chicken species relied entirely on the maternal incubation instinct of hens. But humans have never been a species to bow down to the limitations of nature. The ambition to control life dates back thousands of years. History records that the ancient Egyptians and Chinese were the first to challenge creation. They invented the world's first artificial egg incubators. These were underground mud brick ovens heated by charcoal fires. And do you know how they measured the temperature? They had no thermometers. Those ancient hatchery workers had to use their own sensitive eyelids, pressing them gently against the eggshells to feel the exact warmth of thousands of lives inside. They were the first to dare replace Mother Nature. But to achieve the scale of billions of lives required by today's modern industry, human eyelids are not enough. We needed a monumental leap forward. And that leap forward is named the James Way Platinum 2.0 Incubator. From ancient fire-lit mud ovens, incubation technology has evolved into one of the most sophisticated, razor-sharp machines on Earth. The James Way Platinum 2.0 is not merely an incubator. It is truly an artificial womb forged from stainless steel. Stepping into this silent incubation room, you will find 24 colossal machines operating relentlessly. Each machine swallows up to 120,000 eggs into its belly at once. Maintained at an absolute perfect 38 degrees Celsius, it doesn't just provide warmth. It plays the role of a mother hen with terrifying accuracy. An automatic hydraulic system tilts and rotates hundreds of thousands of eggs regularly every single hour. This prevents the embryo from sticking to the shell membrane, precisely simulating the natural nurturing movements of a real hen. James Way's microclimate control system fine-tunes humidity and temperature to a margin of error of absolute zero. It eliminates all external weather fluctuations, ensuring record-high hatch rates and delivering unparalleled health for these tiny creatures. This is the beating heart of the entire poultry industry, where highly profitable machines have entirely replaced the gamble of fate. But to earn the privilege of entering the James Way steel womb, every egg must survive a brutal purge right at the starting line. In the industrial world, not every egg born has the right to be incubated. These fragile biological entities are thrown onto an endless conveyor belt, passing through a rigorous optical inspection system, candling, under ultraviolet and infrared light. Artificial intelligence scans straight through the calcium shell. Any flaw, whether it's a hairline crack, a microscopic blood spot, or a deformed shape, is ruthlessly eliminated. Only the most flawless, exceptional specimens are kept to move forward. And in this high-risk loading and unloading phase, we must acknowledge the silent heroes of the assembly line, the automated packaging and sorting systems. At top-tier mega factories, the Sonovo palletizer stands tall like a giant guarding life itself. Using advanced vacuum suction technology, Sonovo automates the entire loading process. It extends its robotic arms, cradling tens of thousands of eggs simultaneously and stacking them into towering pallets without cracking a single fragile shell. It maximizes production efficiency, transforming heavy, dangerous manual labor into a smooth, flawless mechanical ballet. However, the world is not just made of massive conglomerates. For small and medium-sized facilities where flexibility is paramount, the Princeton PS-PC30 machine is the perfect companion. Agile, meticulous, and space-optimized. It packs the eggs with absolute care, absorbing shocks and minimizing any jostling or impact during transport and storage. Make no mistake, the explosion of industrial robotics and artificial intelligence, AI, has permanently stripped away the dull, repetitive jobs of humans. But in return, it pushes production limits to the absolute maximum, minimizes errors, and liberates workers to transition into roles that demand higher creativity, strategic management, and sharper thinking. Machines don't steal jobs. They upgrade humanity. Now, let's return to the Jamesway incubator. For 18 grueling days, the eggs lie completely still in the dark. The outer calcium shell looks as quiet as stone, but inside, a violent biological miracle is exploding. Cells divide at a dizzying speed. A tiny heart beats its first rhythm, and the beak, claws, and down feathers gradually form. But on exactly the 18th day, a mandatory evacuation order is issued. Hundreds of thousands of eggs must be unloaded and transferred to hatching baskets. Why this tedious step? Because if left on the automatically tilting incubation trays, the soon-to-hatch chicks would get their legs and wings caught in the machinery grooves, facing an agonizing death by suffocation. The hatching baskets create a flat, absolutely safe space, preparing the perfect arena for the tiny creatures to use their sharp beaks to shatter the shell and enter the world on the 21st day. Stepping out of the eggshell, wet and shivering, the real race for survival has only just begun. The chicks are boxed up, loaded onto trucks, and driven straight into high-tech farms. Here, continuous incubation technology reveals its true power. It produces flocks with a terrifyingly uniform quality, size, and health. But for these biological machines to develop into massive volumes of meat, they need fuel, food, and water. There are no humans scattering feed or carrying water buckets here. A central computer system takes over this entire role. It distributes nutrition accurately down to the gram through automated pipelines, monitoring the consumption of tens of thousands of chickens daily to optimize growth and completely eradicate resource waste. And when it comes to water, we must admire the Big Dutchman nipple drinking system, a masterpiece of hygiene and disease prevention. Forget the open, muddy water troughs stagnant with feces and bacteria of the last century. This modern stainless steel nipple technology hangs suspended in the air, serving 10 to 15 chickens per nipple. It only dispenses a single drop of water when a chicken pecks at it. The result? The water remains 100% pure, with zero cross-contamination. The barn floor stays absolutely dry, completely cutting off the breeding ground for pathogens. The growth performance of the flock is pushed to an unprecedented, optimal peak. The life cycle of a commercial broiler chicken is a flawless, meticulously calculated loop. From the moment they begin their journey by breaking the eggshell to the moment they reach the finish line, their lifespan lasts a mere 6 to 8 weeks. They are nurtured and fattened under the watchful eye of supercomputers until they reach the perfect target weight, between 2 and 3.5 kilograms, just enough to satisfy the most demanding culinary needs of the global market. And when the harvest time arrives, the main poultry processing equipment system, one of the world's most renowned and formidable poultry processing technologies, takes control. Maine has no room for emotion. It is the ultimate symbol of absolute automation. Thousands of chickens are hoisted onto shackle conveyors. From transport, stunning, slaughtering, defeathering, evisceration, rapid chilling, to the final packaging. Everything happens at a staggering speed, yet precise to the millisecond. Processing time is squeezed to the absolute minimum, labor costs are entirely slashed, while product quality and food safety are pushed to the maximum through dozens of laser and high-speed camera quality control checkpoints. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, all the ruthlessness of technology, all the cold precision of the machines and conveyor belts serve one single, ultimate purpose: your meal. Why has chicken meat become the protein foundation of modern civilization? Because it offers undeniable biological benefits. Chicken is a treasure trove of pure protein, rich in selenium and B vitamins. Compared to heavy beef or pork, chicken contains less saturated fat, fewer calories, and significantly lower cholesterol. With its mild flavor and tender texture, chicken easily transforms into any culinary recipe. From the strict diets of professional bodybuilders to the lavish banquets in five-star restaurants, it is not just food. It is an indispensable pillar of a balanced and healthy lifestyle. That is the process. From a nameless egg scanned under infrared light, enduring 21 days of gestation inside the Jamesway steel womb, drinking pure water drops from the Big Dutchman system, growing exponentially in 6 weeks, and finally transforming through the main processing line. Thank you for joining us in exploring how humans use transcendent technology to manipulate nature and sustain billions of lives every year. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next industrial expeditions. For now, trust the process and fully enjoy your meal.